Farmer and the Multiplying Pot, based on a folktale from China. Every evening, the grandpa came to the farmer's house and they would have supper together. They loved having supper together, and they'd talk about the day. During the day, the farmer's hard at work. Supper time, here's Grandpa again. Hey, Grandpa, look what I cooked tonight. Oh, thank you, my grandson. You're a good cook. Thank you for taking care of me. Of course I'm going to take care of you. You're my grandpa. I love you. The next night, another nice dinner. The next and the next and the next. The farmer worked hard. He never had much, but what he had, he'd still get some nice food for supper for Grandpa. And one day he was out digging in his field with a hoe, and he hit something in the ground, and it didn't sound like a rock, and he looked down, and it was, looks like a pot. He moved the dirt aside, and more, whoa, it looks like a big pot, a very big pot. Wow, he got it out of the ground. Look at this pot. It's got markings on it. I wonder if they mean something. I've got to look at this closer. I know. Oh, I have that brush inside. I can brush it off. And he went inside and got one of those brushes, with a wooden handle and it's got a metal steel on the brush part so it can knock off the dirt. So that's what he did. And he got it out, got it out. Oh, I wonder what these are. These words? They're not ones I know. Let me clean out the inside. Oh no, I dropped my brush. Went down into the bottom of the pot. And he looked down and, whoa, more brushes. He started multiplying. The pot filled up with brushes. And he took a brush out and more brushes. And he took a bunch of brushes out and it filled up again. And he looked at it and he said, whoa, this is wild. Look at all these brushes. I've got an idea. Maybe I could sell these brushes. That's worth trying. And that night at supper, he showed Grandpa the pot. Look, Grandpa, it makes brushes. I pull brushes out and more brushes are there. Oh, my grandson, that is good luck. That is good luck. What are you going to do? Well, Grandpa, I've got an idea. I think I'm going to go into the village tomorrow and see if I can sell some brushes. I'll tell you about it at supper time. So that's exactly what he did. And a lot of people wanted brushes. So he bought some special food for dinner that night. And Grandpa came over and he said, Grandpa, you can see it's a special dinner. You know what that means? Ah, you sold a lot of brushes, right? Yes, I did, Grandpa. Yes, I did. I think if I can keep having good luck with these brushes, I have plenty of brushes. I'll just travel village to village and sell them. And we're going to be eating yum, yum, yum. And that's what happened. Every evening they had a very fine supper. Oh, Grandpa and the farmer were happy, happy, happy. One day he came back and he was flipping a coin that he had gotten. The farmer was. And the coin went up in the air and went down into the pot. And all the brushes disappeared. Yep. It filled up with gold coins. The pot was full of gold coins. Whoa! Grandpa! Look! Gold coins! Oh, we're gonna have a big dinner tomorrow night. Oh yes, we are. Oh, Grandpa, I've got an idea. Could you maybe come over tomorrow and we could work together stacking the coins? Because look, every time I take out coins, it fills up again just like with the brushes. So the next day, the Grandpa came over and they stacked coins together. In the middle of the afternoon, the farmer said, I'll go into town now and buy a special dinner. Okay, I'm going to keep stacking coins. Great, Grandpa. And that's what they did, and they had a fine dinner that night. And the next day, Grandpa came over again. And a little way into the day, the farmer said, Grandpa, would you mind, you keep stacking gold coins, but I was looking at my clothes and they're looking not so great. And now I have some gold. I'd like to get some nicer clothes. Sure, grandson, you do that. So that's what he did, and he came back, and there was Grandpa still working. They had their supper together. And the next day, Grandpa came over, and the farmer said, Grandpa, I was thinking, I got some nicer clothes, but I need some nice shoes. So I was thinking, and the village is a little further, so would you just stay here today, and I'll be back by supper time? Okay, said the grandpa. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day, the farmer seemed to always have things he needed to do. And he left the grandpa there to stack coins. And before he left, he said, Oh, Grandpa, I'm starting to see a lot of things that I would like. So it would be better if you would start stacking the gold coins a little faster. And the next day, he said, A little faster, Grandpa. And also, come a little earlier, because I have a very busy day. I have lots of shopping I need to do. Of course, I'll be back for supper, of course. Get to work. And Grandpa worked. And one day, the farmer came home and Grandpa is still working. Grandpa, you're just too slow, too slow, too slow. Come on, Grandpa, get to it. And the grandpa got nervous and he knocked over one of the stacks of gold coins. And that stack knocked another stack over, and another stack over, another. And the farmer was angry at his grandpa. And his grandpa stood up and said, I'm sorry, I don't know what. Oh, Grandpa, just get out of the way. And he pushed his grandpa, and Grandpa fell into the pot. And all the gold coins disappeared. And guess what happened? Oh, yes. It filled up with Grandpa's. Whoa! Grandpa, there are lots of you. There are many of you. Here, get out of that pot. And another would appear. Get out of that pot. And another would appear. Oh, it's supper time. Okay, I'll fix supper. I've got to fix supper for Grandpa. I always do that. Well, there were a lot of grandpas having supper that night. And the next night there were even more. And the next night even more. And the next night even more. The grandpas started helping the other grandpas out of the pot. And there were more and more grandpas. The farmer said, well, I have to give them supper. That's what I do. And he went and bought more and more food, more and more food, more and more food, more and more food, till he did not have any money left at all. And a lot of hungry grandpas. And he came in, he only had one gold coin left. He flipped it and it fell on the ground, and he stepped to pick it up and he slipped and he fell into the pot, not in all the way. He crashed into it and it broke. The pot broke. And all the grandpas, except his one grandpa, disappeared. And it had shattered into many, many pieces. They could not put the pot together again. And he looked at his grandpa and he said, Grandpa, it's you and me again. I was really mean to you. I'll do better. And the grandpa smiled. And that's the story.